Yeah. So, topic of my presentation, today's presentation is this treatment of nature, mysticism, and rustic life in Wordsworth poem. So, what do we mean? What? Yeah. Okay. So, how William Wordsworth, when writing his poetry, he describes nature in his poems and mysticism, and we will show what mysticism here is described in his poems and rustic life. So there are we have two lives. That first one is urban life, and second one is rustic life. So William Wordsworth seems to have been advocating the rustic life in his poetry. That he grew up in company of that kind of vulgate peoples. So he right from childhood there is a good impression on his mind of rustic life. So he seems to be advocating that in his poetry. So we will see it further. Okay, so this is the index or the points we are going to deal with in my presentation today. So the first one is William Wordsworth, a trailblazer of romantic movement. So as he was a predecessor or rather early romantic poet that he in company or in he co-authored the lyrical ballads in 1798 that marked the beginning of romanticism in the history of English literature, which comes after a restoration period, I think, or yeah, it is kind of that. And William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, both were there involved to launch this movement. Okay, so yeah, nature as a teacher. So William Wordsworth thinks that nature can teach you everything that you need to know or that you want to know about life. But how nature impacts on your learning, how nature impacts on your life, Wordsworth will tell you. And another point is mystical revelation and pantheism. So whenever the reference of nature comes, then we are quite aware of that the mysticism will be there. Mysticism means what? That you something is happening, but you do not know. But you are trying to search. You are trying to see what is going on there. This is called mystical revelation. So how one can get self-realization in nutshell. The Wordsworth is describing the mystical revelation and pantheism. Pantheism, we will see what is this. And critical appreciation, I just I didn't get much time to add this slide, but I will later on add this slide, critical appreciation, and then we will move ahead to conclusion and later on references. So let us go to the William Wordsworth, a trailblazer or a pioneer of romantic movement. Here, the on your left side, it is this portrait or a sketch. And let us go. There are 5 points. And William Wordsworth, he lived between 1770 and 1850, and co-author of lyrical ballads. Author of lyrical ballads, 1790, and the first volume published. So 4 volumes were published there, along with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And he held a position, or he was in an incumbent authority of poet laureateship in England from 1843 to his up to his death in 1850. So he was quite a remarkable person in the history of English literature and in the English political sphere as well. Queen or king had a kind of trust upon him that as a poet. And his subjects of the poems were nature. So we will discuss it that what nature was, and love. He wrote on love also. Mysticism. Love means what kind of love? That it is kind of love that even you have a kind of relationship with a person. Even if the person dies, you will cultivate the relationship until you die. That there is a poem, Seven Sister, we are seven. There is a poem, and this kind of we are seven. Then four siblings died. Then he asked that the little girl that where are your 4 siblings? That they are playing, though they have died. It's a kind of poem that symbolizes love. So I think you should go through that poem. And mysticism, we will see in detail, I think. And events of human life. He, along with nature, describes the event, what kind of events are happening in one's life, especially one who is living in a rural area, in amidst the nature, in among the nature. So it is kind of that. And the recent critic named Stephen Gill, a recent Victorian critic, he called him a sage of Riddlemount. Riddlemount, where he died. A sage of Riddlemount. Okay. So nature as a teacher, our very first point. So I have quoted 2 lines from his poem. The very first one is taken from the Tables Turned poem, very famous poem that he says that how he describes that nature can be your teacher, or nature should be your teacher. That and hark how bleak the throstle sings, he too is no mean preacher. Come forth into the light of things, let nature be your teacher. So somewhere it was omitted by technical error because I have got the whole stanza here, so the one line is missing. So okay, come forth into the light of things, let nature be your teacher. He ostentatiously completely tells you that nature should be your teacher, let nature be your teacher. And another thing is nor less I deem. It is nor less. It is. This is the stanza which is taken from one of his poem, which is called Expostulation and Reply. Very good poem. I think you should go through it once. So nor less I deem that there are powers. He is talking about the powers which is not yet aware, or we are not yet aware of that. That and there are powers which of themselves our minds impress. That our mind is, you can say, unconsciously takes up all the powers, and that we can feed this mind of ours in wise passiveness. He says in wise passiveness means in our leisure, that we do not have to think anything. Like if you go to the Zen Buddhism, you will be aware of that Zen, that you do not think about anything, you just sit like that. So it is called a wise passiveness, deliberate passiveness, conscious passiveness. So if you sit in that position, you will get all the knowledge by yourself. So he's talking about that in this point, Expostulation and Reply. So I have quoted a line or a passage, a little passage from his preface to Lyrical Ballads. So in the first edition, 1798, there was no preface, and in second edition, 1802, he was forced to write a preface because he was criticized most. Because critics of the time was telling that what kind of poetry you are writing, it is kind of nursery rhymes, and before that nobody was writing like that. You are just a childish poet. Was like that. So he was forced to write this preface, and what he writes in his preface of Lyrical Ballads, that the passions of men are incorporated with the beautiful and permanent forms of nature. That nature is a quintessential part of your life. Nobody can be aloof from nature. Even if you go aloof, then you will not exist. And characters of which the elements are simple, belonging rather to nature than to manner, such as exist now and will always exist. That anybody, in nutshell, let me say that anybody is connected to nature will be remembered and will exist forever. And here the word becomes very problematic. Will probably always exist. There will come kind of people, or that they will not have kind of sensation towards nature, like it very much happened in Victorian, that they didn't felt that nature is a kind of thing that we can take inspiration from. So it was happened. And so nature is connected in this way, as in a teachership by William Wordsworth in his poems. Okay, so mystical revelation and pantheism. So now let us have the definition of the word pantheism. What is this? Oxford Dictionary defines the term pantheism as a doctrine which identifies God with the universe, or regards the universe as a manifestation of God. So this universe, or whatever we see, whatever we feel, whatever is there, is nothing but the another manifestation of God. So in Chandogya Upanishad, in Vedas, we will find one phrase that when creation, like human, asks their God, "Oh, you made this, why?" Then or what is this? Then God replies, or that power that created all the thing replies that ekoham bahusyam, that I am only one, and ekoham, I am one, but bahusyam, I am just revealing myself. I am just manifesting myself in various ways. That Okay, so it is kind of thing that mystical revelation and pantheism. Pantheism means that you think that everything is God, nothing is outside of it, because we do not know the gender of God, no, so we cannot refer to him or her. Okay, so I would use the word it. Okay, and here is a line taken from his poem, The Tintern Abbey, or the full title is Lines Composed a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey. So Tintern Abbey, this poem was written when Wordsworth visits this place, Tintern Abbey, after 5 years. Before 5 years he was there, but after 5 years he wasn't able to kind of make arrangement to go there. So he writes that in this poem, in relation with this, what pantheism is, that, and I have felt a presence. Now it is the word is bold, a presence. I will tell you later why it is bold there. That disturbs me with the joy of really elevated thought, a sense sublime of something far more deeply interfused. So there is many, the whole stanza was there, but due to technical error, it got just, okay. So a presence means what? A presence of God, a presence of something that makes us alive. So, and I have compared a poet that he is Dhruv Bhatt in our Gujarat. He is a novelist, but also very much known for his poetry. He says one of his songs that Tadu vasai nahi evdi patarima apno khajano hem khem che. આપણે તો કહીએ કે દરિયાસી મોજમાં ને ઉપરથી કુદરતની રેમ છે. So તાળું વસાય નહીં એવડી પટારીમાં. So here I have got a translation of that. My treasure is secured in the chest, so vast to be locked up. I would joyfully say that I am in the sea like raptures and nature is gracious on me. So what kind of chest he is talking about? Is here is the chest or તાળું વસાય નહીં એવડી પટારીમાં. Patari means here the whole earth, the whole existence, that it cannot be logged. Or Tadu means our opinion, our conclusion that we make. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, this should be or this must be one thing forever. So it is not the never. The nature is ever changing thing. That we cannot confine one thing within our limitations of mind. So he says Tadu vasai nahi, that we cannot conclude anything in the natural force. And every patari means here world. Apno khajano means our joy, our blissfulness. That my joy is not limited to the things outside. Materialistic joy is not there in me, but whatever is there in existence pleases me. Okay, so according to that, I compared these 2 poems, and as I told you that I was not exposed to that much time, so I couldn't manage to attach any critical appreciation. Though I will do it later on after my presentation. So here it is my references. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Hold on.
Yeah, stop sharing. Yeah, whose translation was that last line?
Yes, sir. He was Dhruv Bhatt. He is Dhruv Bhatt.
No. Who has translated? He himself has translated.
No, sir. I have translated
those lines.
Yes, sir. I
from Gujarati.
Yeah.
So there is a good translation. That is a very well. Good words are used in the translation.
Thank you so much.
Yes, questions?
Sir, just a minute. Chill. It good. No, I have stopped, but just it got, you'll have to come here, please. So now it came again like this. It automatically got left.
No problem.
Okay.
You are already there in this meeting.
Okay, so I mistook this.
Yes.
Yeah.
You started in the.
It was my error. Okay.
No.
Thank you. So, is there any question that anybody would like to me?
Just mute your mic. Okay. Yes, now. Who is asking? Sangeeta.
What is the difference between mysticism and spirituality? Mysticism and spirituality.
So your question is the difference between mysticism and spirituality. That I think, according to me, because I haven't gone through that in this difference, so but I can say, as far as I know, that mysticism is something that is more ahead than religion. That if you spirituality, it is called adhyatmikta in the term Gujarati term, and mysticism means rahasyavad. That rahasya means mysticism or mystery. It derives its meaning from the word mystery. Hello. No, it's okay. Now I'm talking about. Okay. So mysticism is something that you do not know, but you want to conclude about that. Okay, this is this. You will just infer. Okay. Mysticism is something that you do not know the thing, and you will put the God in the place. It is called mysticism. So here Wordsworth did that. Of presence, of whose presence? Of whose presence? We do not know, but Wordsworth say a presence. Okay, so it is called mysticism, and spirituality is kind of religion and spirituality is kind of two brothers walking on the same trail. But religion sits beside where it is, but mysticism moves on to seek the thing that what is this. The religion, you will find the set of beliefs that okay, the God is this. It is completely defined. But in spirituality, as you ask, adhyatmikta, it is the search for truth. Okay, so as far as you are a religion, you will get confidence, consolence from there is God, something you will get pampered by him or her, whatever. But in spirituality, nothing is there. You are on your own completely. So spirituality is a way better, or way ahead than religion. I think you have got your answer, or still there is any confusion. Tell me or let me know. Is it okay? Thank you.
As you said, Wordsworth is telling nature is our teacher. Then how can be nature our teacher?
Yeah. Here I would like to quote a stanza from the Table Studies poem. That he says, one impulse from a vernal wood may teach you more of men and moral evil end of good than all the sages came. So he's not talking about the teacher we see in the classroom, because the teacher we see in the classroom, he talks about that, okay, the 2 and 2 plus 4. It is, I'm not just diminishing that place of the teacher in classroom, because whatever we are right now, just because of them. So he talks about, if you want to learn spirituality within yourself, if you want to know yourself, who you are, not the materialistic knowledge by which you can get the bread in your plate, or by which you can earn your livelihood. But he is talking about, if you want to know yourself, if you want to know who really is, who really you are, so in that manner, nobody can teach you but your own, or you can take the help of nature. So we have Gautam Buddha, he went into jungle. We have now Swami Vivekananda, he went into Kanyakumari, and the rock memorial is there. Everybody got self-realized, or everybody got self-knowledge of themselves just because of nature, or in the company of nature. So here it means the spirituality or mysticism is depicted through the meaning of the nature, through the company of nature. If you want the knowledge of self-knowledge or spiritual knowledge, nature is the only way. So in that manner, he tells that nature is our teacher. If you want to learn spirituality, just go to nature, just go to woods. Are you satisfied? Thank you.